YouTube, Texas Blades here. With the Blades channel, I don't know if people thought we were just going to do just knife reviews, but we're not. We're going to be reviewing any kind of blade, from the portable chainsaw blades that you cut with, or all the way up to hatchets, axes, things like that. Today, this is something I've reviewed before from my other channel. But I wanted to review it for Texas Blades just because I've been using this for quite a while now, and that is the Cheap Coleman camp hatchet. You can get them at Wal Mart for $9.99, and they are cheap. I got a little story to go along with this one, but let's just get some specs out of the way. And I don't have many because they don't have many on it, and I couldn't find much about it on Google or anything like that, so I'll just tell you what I've come up with. The axe head itself, the hatchet head, is just over 13/16 inch thick in the rear, so that'd be right here. It is a heavy duty head, I'll give them that. The blade surface here is 2 3/4 inches. It does have a hollow handle. I'm not sure what kind of steel they use, but I know the handle's not very durable. Overall length is 13 inches, and again, I don't have a weight on this, but it is heavy. If you've ever held the Bear Grylls survival hatchet, this is probably 3 or 4 times heavier than that, so it does have a big head, and it is heavy. Again, you can pick them up at Wal Mart for $9.99. I cut down probably 6 trees with this. I was clearing land. I wanted to go buy an axe. I didn't have the money. So I picked this up because I was using machetes at first, and if you've ever tried to cut down a tree with a machete, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I went and picked this up. It was $9.99. I cut down 6 trees, and when I say trees, I mean trees. They were, a foot in diameter to 18 inches in diameter. They were smaller trees, but they were, grown ass trees. They weren't, little offshoots of the bigger trees. They were the bigger trees, and we had to get the property cleared, so I was using this. I cut down about 6 of them, and I'm going to show you the back of this head right here. You can see I've beat on this thing quite a bit. I have a little 5-pound sledge, and I use this to split wood. I just put it on there and tap the back of the head with a sledgehammer, and it splits wood rather well. But I'm going to show you something. When you get it, it has a cheap little plastic ring right here, about that wide. Stops about right here, just a cheap little plastic ring. Well, I was splitting wood with this thing, and the damn head flew off mid-swing. Could have really hurt somebody had somebody been standing behind me. And what I realized is they just super glue the handle inside the head. I mean, it's just like a thick epoxy is all it was. So yeah, I got through 6 trees and probably split maybe 10 logs, and it broke. So within the first week, so I was kind of peeved off a little bit. You pay $10 for something, you expect it to last a little longer. But I was abusing it, so I knew it would be on me, not the manufacturer. So I got some cold steel. And those of you who don't know what that is, it's just like a putty. It's gray on the outside, black on the inside, has a black core. And when you mix the 2 chemicals together, it hardens. So it stays soft and like a putty in the pack, but when you pull it out and air hits it and you start mixing in the 2 chemicals, it'll get really hard, like cement almost. So what I did was I shoved a lot of that up in the axe head and then shoved the handle in there. I cut the little plastic ring off, and I made my own ring out of the putty. So that's not factory, it don't come with this big ugly thing here. So I ended up sanding it down and made it look as smooth as I could, and I painted it black to match the handle. That's what color the ring was up here anyway. So I kind of just rigged it up myself. Since then, I've been using this hatchet for about the better part of 2 years now, and it is yet to break on me again. This thing, and it gets tortured. You know, you see the back of it. It gets beat on quite a bit with the back of an axe head or a 5-pound sledgehammer. So I do a lot of beating on this thing. So what I suggest is if you do buy the Hatchet, keep you a tube of that Cold Steel close by, because chances are if you're going to be abusing it like I was, you're going to have to do some repairs on it. Since I've repaired it, I've never had a problem out of it. It's been a great little hatchet. Now it is a heavy hatchet, so you're not going to want to put it in a bug out bag. You're not going to want to have it in a camp pack, hiking pack, anything like that. This is the kind of hatchet you throw in your truck, and when you go camping, when your truck's close by, you use it. It's definitely not anything you want to tote around, because it is a heavy little son of a gun. But I've abused it quite a bit. It's taken the beating since I fixed it. So if you do buy one, just make sure you keep that epoxy close by so you can fix it when it breaks, because it is going to break. Unless you just, you know, use it like you're supposed to use a hatchet. But most people I know do abuse their tools a little bit. You can see the handle, it's kind of offset here, and it makes it perfect for splitting wood. It keeps your hand out away from everything, kind of just give you that little bend. I really didn't think I was going to like the handle. I do like the handle. So you can see it's bent towards, you know, if you were left-handed it would be a pain in the butt to use, but for right-handed people it's a perfect little handle. I am fixing to replace this because I do want a backpacking hatchet, something I can bring in and out with me when we're camping. So I'm probably going to be looking into the Schrade axe, or I don't know, maybe the Bear Grylls. I want something lightweight, but something that I can torture just as much as this one. For being a $10 hatchet, I do think it was worth the money since I fixed it. Had I not been able to fix it and just got, you know, less than a week of use out of it, I would have felt like I didn't get my money's worth. Right now the hatchet could break and I wouldn't be out anything. I'd feel like this hatchet was well worth the money. And with the putty, I've got less than $20 into it. It's lasted this long, and I use my hatchet a lot more than I use my axe now, just because it's easier to tote around. When we do go camping, I do bring it with me. However, I'll leave it in the truck, and if we need it, I go get it. If not, then I end up just using a machete for most of my work that I have to do, or a bigger bushcraft knife. I have a few to pick from, but like I said, $10. I'm not going to say it's well worth it, but if you do buy it, go ahead and invest the extra money in the putty and get it ready to fix. You could probably knock that head off with a hammer and just do it yourself right away, so you don't have to take the risk of this thing flying off and hitting somebody, because it will break, especially, like I said, if you abuse it at all. Plan on fixing it. So I really don't know what to give it on the star system. You know, I always do 5 stars, and I really just don't know what to give it. Due to the fact that it did break, I'm going to say it's going to be low. It'd be like a 1 or a 2. And the fact that it's so heavy, it's not really a good hatchet. I don't suggest anybody go buy it. I suggest you spend a little extra money and get something you're not going to have to fix, or go ahead and buy the putty while you're at it, and the putty's about $6 a tube, something like that. And I forget the exact name of it, but it's pretty much just Cold Steel, the same thing that they use. I believe there's actually a brand called Cold Steel, but I want to say this was called Gorilla Putty, maybe made by the same people that make Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Glue, something like that. So that's going to be it for this one. We're going to have a new one coming out on a axe I use a lot. It's going to be it's a utility axe. It's not anything you're going to carry with you, again, out into the woods. But we're going to do a review on it, and then we're going to have a review on a few knives coming up soon. I want to thank everybody who has stuck in there with us for sticking in there. We haven't done as many videos as we'd like to for this channel, but I explained that on a previous video. But I do appreciate you guys hanging in and waiting for the new videos to come out. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, YouTube.